Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are diving into 2nd Chronicles chapter 31, a chapter that proves that ancient people knew how to throw a revival party and clean up afterwards, which is important. If you've ever wondered what it looks like when an entire nation goes on a spiritual cleaning spree, fueled by leftover Passover adrenaline, this is the chapter for you. So let's dive in. Now, let me start with a little bit of context here. Before this chapter, King Hezekiah, he basically rebooted Judah's spiritual life. He reopened the temple, he restored proper worship, and he hosted a Passover celebration so big that the people were calling it the Festival of the Century. Like, just imagine a Disney fireworks show, only with more priests and fewer $14 churros. That's what these people were doing. Now, chapter 31, everybody's heading home, and apparently they're ready to change their lives. So to kick off chapter 31, verse 1 says, When the festivals ended, the Israelites who attended went to all the towns of Judah, Benjamin, Ephraim, and Manasseh, and they smashed all the sacred pillars, cut down the Asherah poles, and removed the pagan shrines and altars. After this, the Israelites returned to their own towns and homes. So in other words, they basically went full HGTV demolition day, and they're doing this on every single idol they could get their hands on. Like, imagine an army of people with sledgehammers, and they're yelling, "Not today, Baal! Psh, not today, you Asherah pole! Psh!" And they're smashing these idols like there's no tomorrow, and it's just awesome. Now, this is the part of the Bible where the narrator is basically saying that everybody went home, and they immediately started destroying everything that they shouldn't have had in the first place. And it's like the world's first rage room, if you know what I'm talking about. They were letting off some steam and restoring holiness at the same time. Now, verse 2 says this, Hezekiah then organized the priests and the Levites into divisions to offer the burnt offerings and peace offerings, and to worship and give thanks and praise to the Lord at the gates of the temple. He's basically gathering all the temple workers and goes, "All right, team, let's get you into the correct departments here. Priests, you're over here. Worship singers, over there. And incense guys, stop wandering around. This is your section here." Then King Hezekiah tells the rest of the people standing around, "Hey, y'all support this temple staff in any way that you can so that they can focus on ministry instead of worrying about delivery drivers and DoorDash, etc." He also required the people to bring a portion of their goods to support the priests and the Levites so that they could devote themselves fully to the law of the Lord. Because, apparently, the Levites can't sing, sacrifice, and run side hustles. Am I right? Now, the moment Hezekiah says, "Hey, everybody, let's support the temple," the people, they just go wild with enthusiasm and generosity. Verse 5 says, When the people of Israel heard these requirements, they responded generously by bringing in the first share of their grain, new wine, olive oil, honey, and all the produce of their fields. They brought a large quantity of tithe of all they produced. But then the Bible describes the results of this giving with a simple but legendary phrase. It says, they piled them up in great heaps. Heaps! Literal heaps of stuff. Mountains. Stacks on stacks on stacks. As in a mountain of produce. Like, just imagine Costco meets a farming simulator, meets a hoarder documentary, and all this is coming together into one thing. They kept piling offerings for 3 months. 3 months! That's a lot. Now, at this point, the Levites are probably walking around like, "Please, guys, no more grain. We're running out of bowls. We're running out of shelves. We're running out of Tupperware. Please!" Now, King Hezekiah, he visits the temple storerooms. He sees this mountain of produce, and he almost needs a support animal just to handle the shock that he gets immediately. In verse 8 it says, When Hezekiah and his officials came and saw these huge piles, they thanked the Lord and his people, Israel. "Where did all this come from?" Hezekiah asked the priests and Levites. So he's basically like, "What is all this?" In verse 10, a priest breaks it down for him. He says, Azariah the high priest from the family of Zadok replied, "Since the people began bringing their gifts to the Lord's temple, we have had enough to eat and plenty to spare. The Lord has blessed his people, and this is all that's left over. God's been blessing us so hard we don't even have enough storage space for it. We're basically running a holy Trader Joe's back here in this storeroom, and I'm not mad about it." So then King Hezekiah, he goes all full project manager mode. Verse 11 says that he ordered the storerooms to be prepared in the temple of the Lord. When this was done, the people faithfully brought all the gifts, tithes, and other items dedicated for use in the temple. Conaniah the Levite was put in charge, and he was assisted by his brother Shimel. And just like that, we get organization, and it explodes across this entire chapter. We get lists of administrators, assistant administrators, supervisors, sub-supervisors, inventory specialists. Basically, the temple is hiring an entire management team to organize all this stuff. It's the biblical version of rolling the end credits or giving an acceptance speech I just imagine a guy standing up and saying, yeah, shout out to Conaniah and Shimei for managing Mount Tithe. Oh, big ups to Core for distribution logistics. And we couldn't have done it without the inventory legend Mahath. And the chapter ends with a heavenly Yelp review. In verse 20 it says, "In this way King Hezekiah handled the distribution throughout all Judah, doing what was pleasing and good in the sight of the Lord his God. In all that he did in the service of the temple of God, and in his efforts to follow God's laws and commands, Hezekiah sought his God wholeheartedly, and as a result he was very successful." So King Hezekiah did everything wholeheartedly. Not half-heartedly, not low battery or low power mode. He didn't say, I'll get to this stuff later. He said, I'm going to do this with 100% effort, and God blessed him for it. Now, what can we pull from this today? I think the first thing is that real change smashes idols. Sometimes you just got to go home and got to perform a demolition day on the dumb stuff in your life, whether it's a habit, a distraction of any kind. You just got to say, God, I'm putting you first once again. Second thing, generosity grows when hearts are revived. These people didn't give out of guilt. They gave out of pure joy. And apparently they gave a ton. A mountain. Yeah. Next, I think God loves passion plus organization. Revival is awesome. But revival with storage rooms? That's even better. And last but not least, wholeheartedness, if that's a word, is better than perfection. God prospered King Hezekiah because he showed up with his whole heart, not because he was flawless. And I think that is a lesson that you and I can relate to and learn from today. All right, here's the lesson that I have for me and for you today. Pick one thing, one area in your life that is pulling your attention away from God. Just one thing. Is it an idol? A habit? Is it a distraction? Maybe it's a pile of spiritual clutter. Break it, clean it, delete it, toss it, unsubscribe from it. And do it wholeheartedly. Because if you'll put your whole heart into it and you'll give God the glory again, then I gotta tell you, won't he do it?